So what is it? Is it going to be? Is it going to be prostate pain or prostate power? Well, believe it or not, 80% of males over the age of 40 already have prostate inflammation. They already have bladder problems. They already have bowel problems. Okay, so let's take a look at it. Okay, today, right now, a man reaches his peak at 25 sexually. All right, his peak goes into a nosedive at 40 today. Now, whether you want to believe this or not, okay, just 40 years ago, the peak for a man, okay, was actually 50. He declined by the time he was 70. A little difference, eh? 25, 40, 50, 70. Yeah. But you also don't know is that men with prostate inflammation, okay, all right, is an epidemic. And that prostate cancer has gone up 40% in men over the last 5 years. Now, why is that? Well, one reason we'll talk about, it's not the main one, but it is Wi-Fi and 4G. But guess what? Right around the corner is coming 5G. So here's the deal. If you watch my show with Dr. Magda Havas, which is one of the most intelligent, well-informed people on 5G around the world, you would know this. There are two things that 5G is going to really cause problems for. First of all, it will cause from A to Z eye disorders and diseases. When 5G is unleashed in the next few months throughout Canada and United States, and those 5G satellites go up, you're going to see people with so many eye disorders. But hey, that's upstairs. Let's talk about downstairs. So downstairs, 5G will actually cause sterilization in males. Now, if it's sterilizing your testicles, then it's microwaving your prostate. But let's get at the real true cause of what's going on here. Okay, the real true cause is called programming. The real true cause is this, is men are so much easier to program. They're so much easier to program than women. Okay, why is it that 95% of our clientele and 95% of the clientele that's actually out there caring for the family is women? Well, because they work from the heart, which is smart. They don't work from the mind, which is a landmine, because the mind is what can be programmed, not the heart. So we know that men are basically programmed, okay? If you take a look, you will know right now, isn't it something, that almost 85% of the male population is overweight. Now, what does overweight mean? Well, overweight means that you have extra fat cells. You have cellulite. Okay, so now here's the deal. Why do they have that? Well, because our body will create fat cells to store the inflammation and the infection. If it doesn't store the inflammation and the infection, then you're going to have mutation and tissue disintegration. So which one do you want? Cancer or tissue disintegration? Well, it seems like we're getting a lot of those things, aren't we? So heart disease is an emotional issue, but it's also an issue in the tissues of scar tissue, and that's the inflammation part. We also know that with heart, over 90% of the population, mainly males, that get rushed to the hospital that think they're having a heart attack or having a bloody fart attack. Now, where's that fart attack coming from? Well, we know that gas rises. It's actually coming from their bowels. Okay? Now, this is the same reason why you have bad breath. The same reason why it's not what you ate yesterday, it's what you ate weeks, months ago. And it's the same reason why you just brushed your teeth, but guess what? It still smells like somebody might have pooped in them, in your mouth. You know, did you ever turn around to see your wife and give her a kiss, and she goes, "Oh, honey, please don't. Please don't. It smells like somebody." What? Yeah. Okay. But let's get back to our story. So let's talk about the pelvis. So the pelvis is the holy grail, not just for women, but for men. So here's the deal. The large intestine is the mother of all organs. Your large intestine, okay, has 85% of your immune system, and that's called your good bacteria. You're made out of 50 trillion cells, but you're made out of 500 trillion good bacteria. And guess what? When those good bacteria go bad, then you have bad moods. But why do those good bacteria go bad? Because you eat bad foods. And why do you eat bad foods? Because I already told you were programmed, and it's easier to program a man than it is a woman, because they work from the mind more than they work from the heart. So now we eat anything. If it fits in our mouth and we can chew it and we can swallow it, we'll eat it. That most men will do that. Understand that. And that's okay. I'm not putting men down, but the reality is, take a look at men today. Their tummy is either hanging down and out, which means that their intestines are falling out, which the large intestine has no tone left in it, so it's falling down and out. And so what do you think happens when the large intestine falls down and out? Well, it's putting pressure on the pelvis, which means, how would you like it if somebody laid on top of you? Well, that's what's happening. You're putting pressure on your prostate. And when you put pressure on your prostate, that's called a physical block. You're not allowing circulation in that area. So what happens if you block the circulation in something? You cut the circulation off, you cut the oxygen, you cut the nutrition, and you don't allow the waste to come out. Well, then you get stagnation. And you get what? Stagnation, which causes inflammation. Inflammation causes what? Crystallization of lactic and uric acid, and scar tissue formation, which causes more inflammation, which then pulls calcium from your hip bones and your pelvis to try to put out that fire so that you don't get prostate cancer. Now, where does that all come from? Well, let's understand something. The large intestine is the sewer system, but it's supposed to be a sewer system. It's also supposed to be the garden of your life, of your body. You know what? Your large intestine is supposed to be healthy and create all this good bacteria. And bacteria is what makes the garden healthy, which it brings 85% of your immune system together, and it creates 85% of your energy. So the bigger the tummy, the fatter the tummy, the less energy the person has. Tell me I'm wrong. So now, what we eat makes and shapes us. So now, if you're not eating whole plant-based foods high in vibration, high in nutrition, that large intestine, which is the last 5 to 7 feet of a 30-foot highway called your digestive tract, becomes limp, atonic, no tone, no muscle. So you start reabsorbing the waste from that large intestine. But before you start reabsorbing the waste, that sewer system we call our body that should work is going to create an epidemic throughout our body called autoimmune disease, because we absorb the infection. Now, the problem here is that when you start to absorb the waste in your large intestine, because of gravity, where does it go? It goes into the soup bowl. And for a man, that's his pelvis. So the more waste that comes in, more infection that comes in, more inflammation that's going to be created, the more scar tissue is going to be in there, the more inflammation, the more mutation, the more crystallization, and the more calcium is going to be pulled from the bones. So why do things swell? Well, they swell up because of the inflammation. Why do we get puffy down in our pelvis, whether you're a man or a woman? Because we retain water. Because the more inflammation we have, the more on fire we are in the pelvis, the more water we have to retain. And that's where water retention comes. Take a look at our society. We're a puffball society. We've lost our cheekbones, lost our jawbones, and we're just this round ball now. And that's because we've got water retention here. We got it in our belly. We have water retention in our feet. We can have it in our legs because we got to dilute the fire. If there was a forest fire, what do? You take water to it to try to put it out. So your body retains the water. So understand something. Why has prostate problems gone up? Well, because men are easily programmed to eat crap. And because they eat crap, they can't have a good crap. Because that crap is toxic, and because they don't know to drink structured water or enough of it, because they should be putting water in the river to get the waste out, they reabsorb this toxic, chemical-laden, GMO food that they eat into their pelvis, and the food has been mutated. So now your cells will be that way. So understand something. Prostate problems are going to blow through the roof. They say that prostate problems, okay, not going to go up 40% in the next 5 years. They believe that prostate cancer is going to be the main cancer that is taking men down. It's also second operation. The first operation for men is heart, but prostate is coming right behind it. Oh, and guess what else for men? Rectal cancer and sigmoid cancer, which is the last 4 inches of your bowel. Well, no wonder those two, because we're rotting out. So that's what people are doing, is they don't even realize that their pelvic floor is rotting out of their body, because you've got a stinking, rotten mess down there. You've got your own private manure pile that's putrefying. And the reason, it's not your fault. It's not because you're not intelligent, because we are. It's just that we're programmed to disrespect the Holy Grail, which is our large intestine, which is 85% of our immune system. And if you take a look at the medical system, if you come in with an infection, bladder infection, a prostate inflammation, or even worse than that, okay, what are they going to do? They're going to give you antibiotics. Antibiotics are what? They'll go in and kill the bad bacteria, but they'll kill the good bacteria. Now, is that really going to help a prostate problem? I'll let you think about that. I'll let you answer that. Now, if you had a prostate problem, what would be the thing you should do? Well, first of all, don't you think it would be wise to find out how to create the perfect day from the minute you wake up until you go to bed? And what you should be putting in your mouth that's going to help to bring up your vibratory level and clean your body out? Don't you think that it would be smart to know how you can detoxify the large intestine, which has been backing up on your liver, so that you can clean your blood filter, which is your liver, which does over 500 jobs, and it's backed up? People don't get that. Don't you think it would be smart to learn how you can start moving your lymph system? And you're not going to get the swelling in the face or in the belly or in your legs or the water retention until you've backed up your bowel, your liver, and your kidneys. Not your kidneys, but your lymph system, which we're then going to overburden your kidneys. Oh, but guess what happens to that person now? Now they've got a bladder infection. Now they can't go to the pee properly. They can't go pee properly. So they get up in the middle of the night and they go to the bathroom, get up, stub their toe. It's dark. They get there and 3 drops come out. Maybe a little bit more, but not much. And they get up 4 or 5 times a night, I mean. So they get up 4 or 5 times a night. And this is because all of the large intestine was not looked after. So it's always going to come back to the large intestine. If you want to get rid of a bladder infection, you want to get rid of a prostate problem, you got to come back to the large intestine. You got to get the cork out. Now here's the deal. If you've already got inflammation of the prostate, or you've had bladder infection for a couple of years or so, off and on, or you've had a prostate problem and they've diagnosed you with prostatitis or prostate cancer, understand, you've got so much scar tissue down there, crystallization and displaced calcium. How many people do you know actually get well? Oh, they might have surgery, get the prostate cut out, or they might have chemotherapy, or they might have radiation. But how about reversing it? Do you know that you could actually reverse these conditions? Because your body will heal. It will heal itself. So understand something. What you think you know, you don't know. Because I'm going to tell you something right now. Looking after yourself is not called surgery. Looking after yourself is not called drugs. Looking after yourself is learning the right strategies for the body to heal itself. Because just as you created a problem, you can uncreate that problem and create the body that you've always wanted. So, this is what I'll say to you. And that is you need to learn how to create the perfect day from the minute you wake up until you go to bed on an emotional and physical level. Okay? Check out this video. I know I've talked for a little while here, but I wanted to give you an overview of what's going on in the body. Now check out this gentleman who says that he has not been able to pee properly for over 10 years. And I worked on this gentleman for only what? 10 minutes. I swear. Now, he went to the bathroom, and see how he went to the bathroom after I worked on him. Now, what did he do? Well, after that happened, we put him on a protocol. He got a perfect day consultation. He came in and he got Wolfe Non-Surgical. We went in and we pulled the scar tissue apart. We got the calcium back into his bones, and we also taught him what to put in his mouth and how to get the waste out of the other end. Check this video out. Have a beautiful day. And understand something. Prostate problems do not have to be a death sentence. And they definitely do not have to be a pain for you for the rest of your life. Have a beautiful day.
Before I had a treatment, it was always short amounts, very small amounts of urine. And right after the treatment, I went to the washroom with more than I've gone in 20 years probably. I had the best pee of my life, I guess you could say. I would say anybody that's over 50 should come and see him, because it's amazing what he can do. And if I'd have known about it 20 years, I'd have been here 20 years ago. 15-minute treatment and 20 years relief.